Thank you for welcoming me onto your screens, onto headphones, depending on how you're watching this. I'm Eddie, and this is The Rollback. Folks, I'm here to talk to you today about The Hunger Games 5, The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. Like, Origins, President Snow? Yeah, aka, who the fuck was this for? Right, so I'm gonna level with y'all here. I'm a Harry Potter degenerate. I grew up, with that fan series. So when this new YA novel came out, I thought, fuck them. Turns out, I may have been right. I only saw the first two in theaters. The first two were, I'd say, good-ish. Issue being, when the last one was announced that it'd be a two-parter, wasn't really that interested. Be honest, saw the first two in theaters. Saw the last two, Mockingjays Parts 1 and 2, in the last few weeks to prepare for this film. Turns out, I didn't have to put myself through that. So, The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes isn't a terrible story. I like the idea of the son of a man trying to rebuild his family in stature, trying to come back up and rebuild his family's glory. That's not a bad idea. The idea that this young man, all he really has is Moxie, that's the right word. He has moxie, courage to some degree. He wants to build up his family, and he wants to do what it takes to rebuild their stature in society. There's something noble there, I guess. There's something noble about this guy who's willing to cheat the system and do what it takes to succeed. There's something, viable there. The idea of this man also falling in love with a woman who is destined to die, trying to help her, the star-crossed lovers Romeo and Juliet situation. Again, not a bad idea. The idea that he gets caught and gets stationed near her so he can be with her because he loves her. And he's conflicted with trying to help his friend and betraying him and the rebels. All this is good conflict. The idea that love story, falls apart due to a lack of trust and communication because it's a Romeo and Juliet situation because I think you've known each other for like 4 hours leading into this, right? Like maybe you've seen each other that much. Fine. Here's the problem. And watching this man deteriorate and become a villain. Again, not bad. Here's the thing. The bad guy is fucking Hitler. Like, who the fuck was this for? Who thought that this would be a good story? We know where President Snow ends up. That's the flaw in telling these stories of prequels. Of setting up this character, it's the bad guy in the future. How did he become bad? He's not that interesting. Like, you could do that with Darth Vader, but that's because you had a pantheon of story to work with. This is just President Snow going from A to B real fucking quick in 2.5 hours. Like, I understand the logic. But, like, for example, I don't think I would be down to watch a Voldemort prequel, to Harry Potter, because I know where the story ends. That's the inherent flaw in prequels. Look at, Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them Part 3. I was never worried that Dumbledore was gonna die because we know where his story ends. There is no tension there. You need to have a damn good story and execute it flawlessly, which this movie kinda didn't. Like, I was engaged up until the point that the games ended. And even to some degree when Snow got sent off into District 12, I was still somewhat interested at that part. Maybe you rearrange this shit. Maybe Snow is initially a soldier who falls in love with this girl in District 12, star-crossed lovers, but he must leave her to go back home after his tour of service is done. Once there, he ends up getting himself placed so he can help her win, so they can run off together and in love. But tragically, she dies. That breaks his heart, and that's what turns him into the monster. This is a story where the good guy fails. Fucking there. At least that would have been more interesting than, he fails, but we still got another fucking hour of this film to go. Like, the effects are fine. The story is heartwarming to some degree. There's a child that is differently abled in the games, which is like all kinds of sad. And she gets the most horrifying death. She gets eaten by snakes. Like, I understand what you were trying to go for. But this movie, either maybe it was edited weird, it wasn't cut right, or maybe you just had the story of events going in the wrong order. I think it could have worked in a different way, but instead, instead it went completely wrong. And which is sad because, like, Peter Dinklage, rock solid. Viola Davis, damn, she plays a great villain. It's just, who the fuck was this for? I'm sorry, that's the thing I'll hark on. And I know I'm not a big Hunger Games fan. I'm curious to see what Fernie and Chema say in our podcast review. Go check that out, please and thank you. But yeah, this one is not going to cut it for me. I'd B- at best. I'm not rewatching this film. You know what? C+. I'm not rewatching this film. It's fine, but it's just executed really oddly. Which is unfortunate because Nikki wanted to see it and she was disappointed, so no. But that said, what did you all think? Go to comment down below. Was I too harsh? Let me know. That said, I've been Eddie, and this was The Rollback. We'll see everybody. You know what? This one is actually a prime candidate.